Hi, I'm no one in particular. I'm just a Meerkat, but my favorite genre of pro wrestling is stubborn Joshi wrestling, and luckily there's a promotion that captured all of that. AJW, All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. I specifically chose to dive back into 90s Joshi wrestling because I grew up in the 90s. I did do a review of the 10-hour Big Egg show, but reviewing singular Joshi matches from the 90s sounds fun, so I asked my community from across my socials to comment a 90s Joshi match, and I took those suggestions and made a roulette wheel like I'm Maya Iwatani. Every week, I will spin the wheel and I will review whatever that match is. Any repeating matches suggested gets an additional vote to the wheel, and all Patreon and YouTube members get an additional vote added to their match choice to increase its chances. These will be experimental as I search for that exact tone and vibe, that feeling to replicate what I'm searching for. I grew up in the 90s. I'm trying to capture a specific vibe, so bear with me as these things grow and change. And eventually, I'll add whammies to this like Jenna Maraska versus Charmel or something. I don't know, Danhausen. But for now, let's do the first spin. It's LCO versus Manami Toyota and Toshio Yamada in a 2-out-3 falls match for the WWA Tag Team Championships at AJW's Oda Wad Legend in the year 1994. I love 90s Joshi. I love how they didn't give a single shit. The ring didn't give a shit. They were stubborn, they were raw, reckless, innovative, creative, and insane. The atmosphere and the camera angles is all too classic. The vibes are immaculate. Fred Armisen was wrong. The dream in the 90s isn't alive in Portland. It's alive in Joshi. The dream in the 90s is alive in Joshi. The dream in the 90s is alive in Joshi. All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. LCO is Asuko Mita and Mima Shimoda. Asuko Mita is notable for innovating the Death Valley Driver, the Death Valley Bomb, because the vast majority of all cool moves were invented during this era. Mita used to team with Yamada early in her career, and in 91 with Manami Toyota as the Mint Showers. But she formed LCO with Mima Shimoda in 1992 and have become the more critically recognized teams of this era. But during her time in Mint Showers, she did record a single with Toyota. And here it is. Final fact, all 4 of these women debuted in the same year as part of the 1987 class. Now I love this aesthetic so much. Look at this shot. Stuff like this instantly brings me back. It's a very specific feeling you get when you're transported directly back into that time period, and it's fleeting. It lasts maybe a single second, but in that singular second, you feel an entire time period wash over you. 90s Joshi is filmed with technology and a feeling that can never be replicated ever again. It's part of the reason I love this time period in Joshi oh so much. Also, something that has been lost in the Bushiroad style of epic wrestling building that wrestling work rate fans of today hold oh so precious to their star rating chart is just ignoring the slow start and just getting on with it. Within 2 minutes, Toyota gets hit with a power driver, and then a minute later a spike power driver, and it's just a 2 count because this is AJW, people. A power driver is just a transition move to damage the neck, and the crowd is trained not to react to this as a finish. When I first dived into 90s Joshi wrestling, it was when WWE banned power drivers, so imagine my surprise seeing these women just nonchalantly hit the ever oh so dangerous move of the This is a 2-out-3 falls match. LCO isn't quite at the level they would reach eventually, but they make Manami Toyota suffer in her typical way, and she screams in her typical way, and her face is that of, shit, I'm dying again, which she is goated at. Then she does a full minute of the cradle roll. This match was 40 minutes long, but it felt like 25, truly, and 1 minute of that was the cradle roll. It was bonkers, like stubborn Joshi typically gets, and I loved every minute of it. It's not perfect wrestling, it's not smooth wrestling, it was definitely rough. All the aspects that I talk about on this channel about wrestling performance art doesn't apply in AJW, and it doesn't need to. I don't look at Manami's face when she is dying and think, What a wonderful acting performance. Look at the emotion on her face detailing the story. No, she's actually dying. That's what I love about this. They didn't give a shit. It's raw, it's intense, it's spontaneous, it's rough, but beautiful still. It's like grunge. I was re-listening to Nirvana's entire discography, and the tracks off Incesticide B-sides and definitely off Bleach are always so raw, to where you feel their tone. That's what made Nirvana for me. When Kurt Cobain is playing guitar, it's unique, but not perfect. It's human, and Kurt's screams were guttural and beautiful in its unprocessed form. That's the feeling I always get watching 90s Joshi. We overvalue perfect pro wrestling today and mock roughness for perceived botches. This wasn't an all-timer for me, as I've seen better tag matches from this era, but I loved this. The first fall ended after Manami Toyota busted out the Japanese Ocean Suplex, and then busted out the Japanese Cyclone Ocean Suplex. One of my all-time favorite finishing moves, not for its impact, but for its uniqueness, and to finish the sentence that is Manami Toyota's style. Second fall was all LCO being super pissed off and being mean as fuck. Oh, look at them mean girls. They slowed the match down to really build it up later, and oh boy, did the crowd react to that. Look at this evil sleeper and Yamada's perfect reaction to it. Shimomura was super mean about it too. Very rough and ugly. I loved it. Because this era of Joshi is also an era where I legit don't know if these women are actually beefing, and I don't need to know. It's just fun watching them beating the fuck out of each other on that hard-ass ring and watching Mina choke Yamada like she's Rika Tatsumi. Manami Toyota is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers and the first Joshi women's wrestler that I really heard about, and her style cannot be replicated today. Not just because she didn't give a single shit if she died in the ring, but because of how simplistic her style truly was. Drop kicks, constant movement, constant, throwing your body at them. Then the German variations come and the moonsaults right after. Her strategy, which paid off in the first fall, is to drain the stamina and weaken the neck for the Japanese Ocean. If a wrestler does this today, people will mock them for not being able to wrestle. No technique. Oh, she's so unsafe. Oh dear God, why doesn't AJW have a performance center? They didn't give a shit. And Manami Toyota is a goat. The match gets crazy epic and the crowd explodes when Mina hits the Death Valley Bomb. And then she lands it again to defeat the champs in the second fall. The third fall begins, and immediately these women don't give a single shit and start chaos. And then Mina casually kills Toyota outside with a pile driver on the concrete. Just a common move. Then LCO starts the process of re-murdering Manami Toyota for the 100th time, and this super goat won't die because Manami Toyota never dies. And then Yamada, who I haven't had a chance to yell about yet, is out there kicking ass, and they're exhausted, and it's amazing and non-stop, and there's flying and diving, and this style Joshi counters for the flying attack is and literally non-stop. These women are insane, and Manami Toyota's still not giving a single shit about her body. Listen to that thud, then look at her face. But there was a purpose to her self-murder. It was to murder Shimomura completely so the team can finally finish off Mina with the Japanese Cyclone Ocean Suplex Kick combo. Beautiful finish, maddening match. I thought about having a tier list to keep track of where I ranked them, but honestly, I'll forget. So I'll link below, and you give it a watch and tell me what you think. All the wrestling that I'll be watching will be dope. I very much love this era. It's like watching classic film for me. It's an aesthetic unmatched in wrestling and will forever be unmatched. Not because of the quality or its purpose in history and time, but it's a snapshot of a time period. True nostalgia, for me, is about capturing that fleeting moment. And I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish this and capture that, but this is absolutely a new weekly series. They won't always be this long, but they'll be fun. So go ahead and comment a Joshi match that you'd like to see, and I'll add it to the wheel. I want this wheel to eventually get absurdly large, so I will continuously add upon it. So, let's spin the wheel for next week's match. Oh, it's Devil Masami vs. Sakura Hirota from Gaia 1997. See you next week, people, where the dream in the 90s are alive in Joshi.